Welcome to the Fleet Geeks podcast. We're here to help develop fleet and transport professionals. Do you want to progress and develop your skills and knowledge? We promise to bring lively conversation and debate around interesting issues and keep you bang up to date with changes in our awesome industry. The Fleet Geeks are a community of professionals, and if you enjoy the podcast, why not join the discussion for free in the Fleet Geek community over on Facebook.
Welcome to Fleet Geeks Podcast 2. So we're still very inexperienced at this, I've got to say, but I think everyone's going to get easier from here on in, isn't it? So welcome. Today we're going to talk about Transport Manager and the Transport Manager Certificate of Professional Competence, and it's going to be quite interesting to listen to these guys and their experience of sitting that course and how they got on with that particular element of their lives, which is, as a transport professional, it's kind of like the elephant in the room sometimes when we come across the need to take and pass this exam. So a little bit about the exam to start with and why we need it. Operating heavy goods vehicle. I mean, what are heavy goods vehicles? I ask this question to delegates on courses from time to time. I say, why have we got so many rules and regulations concerning heavy goods vehicles? And the answer I got back once from a very, very senior person who gave me the best answer going was that they're big and dangerous. And I don't know, I mean, they are big and dangerous. What can we say about it? Yeah. And so it's no wonder then, it's little wonder that we have so many rules and regulations that define how we should operate these big and dangerous vehicles. So in the UK then, to operate a heavy goods vehicle, you need to obtain an operator's licence from a wonderful organisation called the Office of the Traffic Commissioner. Now, the Office of the Traffic Commissioner demands that every operation that operates heavy goods vehicles of a certain... There are three types of operator licensing, but basically two of those operator licences require somebody with professional competence to be named as their transport manager. These two gentlemen have had that experience as well. So it's quite it's a hugely responsible position, really, and it's you are legally accountable. It's a criminal offence to not follow the rules, basically. So in order to do that, in order to establish that professional competence, you need to pass an exam, and that exam is called the Transport Manager Certificate of Professional Competence. It's set in European law. The syllabus for it is set in European law, but like many European laws, they are very much a part and parcel of the fabric of UK law as well. So in this country, it's looked after by the Department for Transport. And one of the things that we are very excited about here at Flagship is that we are just about to launch that course ourselves, and we're looking to get some delegates onto the courses so that they can achieve that qualification. It's not easy. It's a level 3 qualification equivalent to an A level. So there's a lot of study, but we aim to make it as easily enjoyable for candidates as we possibly can, and to give them the best potential to get that. It's an exam. It's a qualification for life. Once you've got it, there is no legal requirement to refresh. The only expectation, if you are named on on an operator's licence, is that you keep yourself up to date. Continuous professional development is very important. But we also offer refresher courses that will tick that particular box. And as we talked about in the last episode, the Fleet Geeks community is there to help you with that continuous professional development. So that's a little bit, if you didn't know about the qualification, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people are aware of it in the industry, but not a lot of people know what it actually entails. So us three in this room have obviously gone through that experience. It'd be just interesting to see from I've got no previous knowledge of how these two fine gentlemen got on in that particular field, but my own personal experience and one of the things that really led to me harbouring interest in becoming a trainer was that when I did mine originally, and I shan't mention the name of the company, but here in Peterborough, we walked into the room. It was many years ago. We walked into the room, and there was about half a dozen people in the room at the time. We sat at a desk. We were given these huge folders. Do you remember those folders? You remember those folders?
Still got one.
You never forget them. You carry them about like a monkey on your shoulder for the rest of your life. We were given these big folders, and the guy opened the folder on page 1, and he read through to page 3 billion and whatever it was, and then he closed the book and he said, right, exam tomorrow.
Hi, it's Pete from Flagship Partners. We're really proud to sponsor a Half Dozen Things podcast. At Flagship Partners, we take road safety really seriously, and we're your road safety partnership. We help transport companies with compliance and training across their businesses, including first aid, driver CPC, and other transport management services. So if you're FORS accredited or you want to improve your operator compliance risk score, give Flagship Partners a call today.
And I thought to myself, if I ever become a trainer, that is not the experience my delegate's going to get. So, Jamie, what was your experience of your...
I did home study,
Ooh.
which was tough. So I was a driver at the time, so doing quite a few hours. But every delay I got the folder out, went through it.
Hope the taco was on.
It was on other way. Jamie, there's a lot of delays when you're lorry driving. Yeah, it was on other way. So
Not a lot of driving, Jamie.
studying. Every delay, every hold up. I was like, doesn't matter. And then cracked on with a bit more study.
So Shani's joining us for our second podcast episode. Hi, Shani.
Shani.
Hi, Shani. Just come in. Don't worry about it. This is part of what we're doing here. Just chill. It's fine. No, seriously. Hurry up. Yeah, we'll see you in a May. All right. Anyway, apologies, Jamie.
That's an introduction to more of the team. I think that was a.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Shani. Shani's one of our first aid trainers.
She's not scripted.
Yeah, totally not scripted.
To prove it, we've done that. So home study. I went for the exams at the similar place to what sounds like where you went. I did fail, and then I think I just failed the case study section. Multiple choice was okay, and then I did actually do a refresher day before I did my exams and then passed.
Oh, well done.
After that,
home study, it's a lot to take in. It really is a lot of information to take in. So hats off to you for that. Obviously, as a trainer, I'm going to say that your best experience is in the classroom.
I'll do it again.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, to be fair, but it doesn't suit everybody, and home study sometimes is the answer. What about yourself, Pete?
Yeah,
what did you?
I'm much the same as Jamie actually. So
two home studies.
two home study guys. I did pass first time though, Jamie.
Ah.
Not that I'm going to rub that in or anything. I did pass first time. However, I think if people are listening, what I would say is, if I had the opportunity to go back, I'd definitely do a classroom course. I wouldn't do it online. I would absolutely do the classroom course, and the reason for that was I just had no idea what I was letting myself in for, and just I ordered the home study notes. They arrived, literally left a hole in the hallway carpet and literally made a hole in there, huge folder. And it was tedious. There was no one to ask any questions. And I think the biggest challenge I found was that once I'd qualified, so I wasn't in a transport manager's role at the time. I'd done it, but actually it was at the time that I was working for Volvo. And I decided to do it myself. No one else was going to pay for it, which was why I went the cheapest route. And I'd have had to take a holiday to go in the classroom, so no one was going to invest in me to do it. So I did invest in myself. It meant 4 a.m. starts every morning to be able to get it done. There was no other option, and I spent a couple of hours a day for several months learning it. And I did learn it inside out and back to front. And I felt very anxious going into the exam. I probably needn't have done, because I didn't even have proper access to past papers, because there's very limited information on the internet, and people will find that when they want to go and study and do the home study thing, actually the training centres have got access to those previous papers and understanding of how they're marked. So a good example with Mike, for example, is that he helps write the CPC questions. So if you want insight into how they're written and then how they're then marked subsequently, then actually you need to come speak to a trainer. And I think the biggest challenge I found was actually once I'd qualified, I essentially then had to I'd taught myself to pass an exam, but I'd not taught myself to be a transport manager. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning like anyone else. Every day is a learning day. When you put big dangerous vehicles together with potentially dangerous people, when not managed properly, then potentially you have a dangerous situation. And the whole purpose of the transport manager role is to reduce risk, to increase safety, to improve compliance, to improve performance, to improve safety. And the studying at home will never achieve that. I think shared experience in the classroom, you'd gain so much value from that. So yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely correct. And as a trainer, what I look for is to give learners those tools that they're going to need beyond passing an exam. A lot of organisations that you go to and do the learning and do the exam, I mean, really what they're doing is teaching you to pass an exam, and they'll go through past papers, so you learn things verbatim. That's not the way to do it from my point of view. I look at delegates and I think, it's a wet Wednesday afternoon in the middle of November. I'm the transport manager. My name's on the licence. I've got another transport manager who's recently qualified. Am I going to let them alone and play with a train set, or am I going to worry about it if I'm out the business? And I look at delegates and think, that these people, that what they need to be is confident enough to know. They don't need to know everything. I still learn every day. But what they need to know is be able to find that information and be able to be a safe pair of hands, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. We're gambling with people's, literally livelihoods and lives. And it's not just about passing an exam and learning the exam. It's about learning the experience. And I think that's where we will come in and hopefully support people through the Fleet Geeks community.
Yeah, fantastic. I think whilst we're on this opportunity, and I must say, I hope everyone else has really enjoyed it, but Mike's gone in massive trainer mode there.
Did I go in trainer mode?
Yeah, massive trainer mode. When you first started off, I was like, wow, like that. I was like, where's my folder gone? But yeah, I think it's good to reiterate to people, we did this because actually people often forget in the sector to go back to basics with people, to explain everything, because we do have this expectation that everyone knows everything, right? So this podcast, as it develops, hopefully will hold your hand through the whole process. And I think it's only fair. Obviously, we offer the in-person training. You've had some experience of actually what you're going to get, and you're going to get Mike, who's clearly got his own signed copy of the Transport Manager Bible from Jesus. However, what I would say is there's lots of other ways you can learn. Home study, like we say, Jamie and I can really share that experience, and hopefully you felt the pain that we felt going through that, whether you passed first time like me or failed like Jamie.
I've got to confess, I actually sat in a classroom but failed first time. Back in the day though, it was 2 exams. It was national and international, so it's all rolled into one now.
Yours is all in one.
I'm all in one, yeah.
Not easy.
International, Anyway, I didn't just get mine out of a cereal box. However, there's obviously the home study option, and then you've also got the online option too. As we develop the offering over time, we probably will look to introduce like a virtual learning option. But I think I always want it to have an element of tutor input, group input, and that's what the Fleet Geeks community will be able to provide as well. At the moment, it's going to be in person. You have got companies out there, certainly local to Peterborough. There's a company who do I think it's held in fairly high regard, the online learning option. I think you save some money doing that, but are you going to get that hive mind benefit? Are you going to get that community benefit from the other people in the room and all their experience, as well as Mike's experience too? And obviously the full experience of getting to come to flagship partners where you're going to get lunch and all of that cool stuff too. And obviously membership to the Fleet Geek community and future mentoring. But one of the things I think is really, really vital is that I've lost my fucking thread.
It's vital that you remember your thread.
Yeah, it's very vital that you remember the thread. What was I going to say? I think it was that it's worth investing in. It's worth taking it seriously, and you know it's not a pitch. But I think even if we do look to do virtual, and I think that's what people really think. Can I learn virtually? Can I save money? Can I save myself 10 days in a classroom and the lost income, for example? The answer is, yes, we're going to introduce that, but I think there's always going to be the element of more people, getting people involved and having some trainer contact as well.
Trainer contact. And as trainers, we love a bit of trainer contact. Let's not beat about the bush, don't we? So yeah, absolutely. And the people you allude to have a very, very good pass rate. That is without doubt. But as Pete said, it's more that it's an experience, and we want to make that experience and lasting learning for everybody. I think lasting, and I still learn. My primary school teacher. This is the trainer coming out of me again. My primary school teacher said to me, she said, "Do one thing for me throughout the rest of your life." I said, "What's that, Mrs. Brown?" She said, "Learn something today that you didn't know yesterday," and I try to do that every day.
Yeah, see, I love that, because I thought that once I left school with my GCSEs in hand, I knew everything there was to know about anything.
You think you've done, don't you?
Yeah, you do. I did anyway. So there you go. At least you had someone with that growth mindset. And as we leave, I would say we leave this session with that thought actually around having a growth mindset and always learning and always continuing to develop. Think about that for yourself. Think about what that means, and don't limit your own opportunities and limit your own learning by trying to cut corners. There's other ways and means. But yeah, anyway, thanks for joining. Hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please do share it with your colleagues, share it with your friends. Absolutely. And we'll see you all again soon.
Look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Cheers.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share with your friends and colleagues too. Join us for free on Facebook with the Fleet Geeks community for transport and fleet managers. Fleet Geeks offers ongoing professional development, networking and mentoring too. So get in touch with me, Pete Rushmer, on any social media platform to find out more.